What's going on, everybody? This is Jose Ledesma here with Kuya Flip, ISO Ignorant Shit Only Podcast, episode 28. We're with Mr. Look Cypher himself, Mr. Music Producer, Mr. Superstar, Sav 10, baby.
Hey.
Yeah. Let's go.
Shout out to you, bro.
Give it up.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Man, appreciate you.
Honored to be here.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it then, shall we? So, how did Look Cypher begin? And, this is kind of like a two-parter. So, can you share with us how it begun and then the journey that you've taken since you started it to where it's at now during season 2?
Yeah, great questions. I'm not going to lie. I was struggling getting my beats out to MCs, right? And then I was in a communications course at Folsom Lake College. And, every day I'm learning how to apply these communication skills to mass media and things that I was trying to do. All right, how do I get these beats out there? Coming to CSSB was a big help, meeting MCs and meeting artists and stuff like that, right? So honestly, I spawned the idea. I was talking to my brother, hey man, I think what Sacramento needs, this is just my point of view, was to bring back a team backpack style cipher where it was just underground hip hop, music that I wanted to hear, music that I like to make, which is chop and soul and doing kind of stuff like that. So I wanted to, create this cipher just because Team Backpack had changed 100%. And so that's the inception of it was, just organically trying to figure out how to utilize my learning, my communication skills, from school, try to get my beats out to more people. So then, creating another video opportunity, right, with creating content would allow me to get my beats out to more MCs, right? So if I said, all right, hey, I have instrumentals that are crazy, but now we can put these instrumentals to work and make content and produce music videos for artists, right? So, but using the cipher as the platform, it was a very selfish move to get my beats to people. Ultimately.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a way to plug yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Pause right there, but
Oh my God!
I love it. He's already starting. I love it.
He's definitely been plugged. So
I'm disgusted.
Glad you can sense his aura.
Yeah, so from where it started was ultimately to make music videos and get my beats to artists, right? That's in a nutshell, that's what I wanted to do. So we filmed, Kuya Flip was on the first.
Talking about Henry Ruggs and shit.
Hey, freak us.
Yeah. We produced 5 episodes really fast, and it was just to create the groundwork. Shout out to Groundwork. Yep. And start the platform, build it, and then start showing other MCs all right, hey, this is what we're doing. But I quickly realized as a collaborative effort, we can get more producers involved as well. So I did produce the first 5 episodes for season 1, but from episode 6 on all through season 2, and even in now that we're in production for season 3, it was just we're featuring more and more and more artists. Producers involved, right? So now we could feature 4 artists every episode versus just me and 3 other dudes, you know what I mean? Or 3 other MCs, artists, whatever.
Okay.
How would you, for someone who's starting off in producing, the route you took, would you give the go-ahead on that, or would you suggest to new producers to take a different route as far as getting your beats into people's hands?
So say that question again?
So the route you took, right, as far as starting your own cipher with the intent to get your beats into the hands of MCs, right? If I'm starting off as a producer, would you immediately hey, I would suggest this route, or would you push for them to do other things?
Oh, my biggest advice to other producers or even older me was just go outside. Go find these events that are happening. Freestyle Friday at CSSB, or there's a plethora of opportunities in Sacramento for sure, with all these events taking place 5 to 7 days out of the week. Just go meet people. Don't be afraid to sell yourself, if you will, if that makes sense. Network, talk to people in person. For me, I failed on the Instagram and DM side, and it wasn't until I came to Freestyle Fridays and I plugged in my phone, and even you were you met me with, Anton introduced me to you, and you're like, oh, hey, what's up? And then, but it was a busy night. And once the beats played, then you were like, oh, who the fuck produced this? And it was and then Anton was pointing to me and shit. And so I was like, yeah, I got beats, but it wasn't until I came outside or went outside, and went to events and started showing people like, hey, I got this Google Drive of beats. Let me just get your email and I'll just send it to you. And if you're fucking with it, you're fucking with it. Yeah. So that's my advice to other artists or other producers was like, meet people, go to events,
get the fuck outside,
touch grass, goddamn.
Yeah, and then you never know. Like the network that I have at this point, friends that I've made, you know what I mean? I feel like we're friends now, you know what I mean? Sure. I can send you any kind of photos I want.
Brother, what the... Hey, yes, yep, you can. You sure can.
But that's because, like we've developed a relationship, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't come out, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
So far on Look Cypher, can you share either the most challenging or the most rewarding behind the scenes moments?
The most challenging moments happen every single time we plan a cipher. Is at this point we'll book 3 artists, we'll have the beat ready, we'll shoot out the beats or whatever, and then like week of, day before, and day of, we get call outs. Right? So I'll plan out for up to 6 weeks sometimes with artists, and then they're like, yeah, hey, does this date work good for you? Can you reserve this date? Like make sure you can plan it out. And then day of, we'll be like, oh, I can't make it. I was like, all right, so all the 6 weeks of preparation that we put in, the time, money, and effort that we're
laid an egg, basically.
Bruh. So, like that's our biggest struggle for sure is like, do we call someone else? And it's a hard call to ask somebody to be a reserve. Like, hey, I can't guarantee you're going to get on an episode, but if you pull up and if somebody doesn't make it, then here's your shot. I'll give them the beat early. It's proven itself to work out, but it's a hard ask. So if I put myself in those shoes, I would say yes to being a reserve or a backup, personally. So some artists find that a little offensive, like they weren't considered to be on.
They want their moment to shine.
Yeah. So it's like, when am I up next, or whatever the case may be, So it's a hard position to be in, and especially if I'm hitting folks up last minute. Like I think a few months ago, I was like, we literally need somebody tomorrow, and then CSB is CSSB has been instrumental in helping, and even just texting folks and being like, hey, yeah, I think we can provide somebody, or Kuya Flip even, he's helped out this season alone like tremendously. So shout out to you. Thank you, dog.
Yeah, thank you.
And then like a rewarding moment that you can like maybe everything, it was a day that everything just went smoothly, or maybe there was like a guest you really wanted that you got. Anything that you found really rewarding so far?
I'm probably gonna shy away from like saying the most rewarding guest, honestly,
or just moment. I'm just saying
the moments for sure. My wife and other homies, like, they dropped the idea of branching away from hip hop, or not even away, but starting to include R&B. Right. So then we started to develop. We have an R&B cipher coming. So y'all heard it first here on the Ignorant Shit podcast. So
appreciate that.
So as we set the stage, we invited artists to come out, 3 R&B artists, and then it involved in a new producer, right? And that producer gave us 5 instrumentals to choose from. Being on set that day for the R&B cipher, like as soon as we set the mood, the lighting, and everything, I had like chills, goosebumps, whatever y'all call it, as something brand new developed, because we were open to taking suggestions of like, all right, hey, y'all can push this even further and tap into a whole new audience doing R&B. That was probably the most rewarding, where I was like, okay, it doesn't, all the ideas don't have to come from my head. I can involve more people, and that was probably the most rewarding tour. I was open to suggestions, applied the suggestions, and honestly, like, from that cipher, we did an exclusive with Nick Tran. We released that exclusive performance with him already. Yep,
fire.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
Oh yeah, so shout out to Nick Tran, because
oh really? Yeah.
That day was incredible. Getting the exclusive wouldn't have happened if we didn't take the suggestions of like doing R&B, right? So like all these things develop because of the suggestions. But what I was trying to say is our most viewed video all time on Instagram is Nick Tran's performance. It's crazy numbers.
And that hasn't even been out that long. That's what I'm saying. I just saw it like yesterday or the day before, and it wasn't even like that long of a date.
It's only been a few weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we like to, throw a little money behind and market each of these videos that we can. So honestly, it was a nominal amount of money that we put into boosting that Instagram through Meta, and man, the numbers are crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
you feel like you're getting when you do that? I'm so sorry to cut you off. When you do that, or you feel like you're getting like real engagement?
100% real engagement. So before we boost or promote any episode, we want to see what it does organically, right?
Yes.
And it was in the hundreds of likes, and then close to hundreds of comments, and people are sharing. Like when you see the shares number, right? It's like that's the indicator of, okay, that is an episode that we want to promote for sure. Like putting money behind, right? And yeah, so the engagement is real for sure, as long as you're going through the approved platforms, right? So if you're promoting through Instagram or Meta, like you'll those are real users, right? So I mean, we all know I'm sure you all get DMs of like, hey, I could get you 1,000 subscribers, and all the and those are all usually just bots.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we make sure we stick to like the major players, so Meta, and like when we promote on YouTube, it's through YouTube, or which is Google Google.
So when you're looking for people to join Look Cypher,
Yeah.
how do you decipher like who's going to be a good guest for you to either come on and just do what they do, or to come on and even promote themselves, to be like, this is a dope artist that should be on here?
Yeah, it's pretty easy, right? So whether it's somebody we've already worked with, and they're like, hey, have you checked out like these other artists? So we get word of mouth from people that we've already been working with, network that we've already tapped into, right? So that's number one. So usually, like if Kuya Flip says, hey, this person is doing well, we'll go to their Instagram account, or we'll look at their YouTube, we'll look at their TikTok, and we'll see how active they are. Honestly, if they haven't posted since 2024, then maybe they're looking for an opportunity to get back into it. But
they themselves are not motivated to do it.
Hey, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. So usually the artists need to be active, and we're also looking for a certain sound too, right? We're looking to stay within the underground hip hop side of things, and there's a wildly popular style of music that like Thizzler promotes, right? Like and the beats are specific. They're Northern California beats, right?
NorCal beats.
I don't know what to call that kind of beat, right? It's like new. It's almost like the tempo is like hi-fi, right? It's up tempo. And then they have the specific, like, the hi-hats that go in there. It's like boom, 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 boom. That type of beat. I don't know what to call it, right? That I feel like that's Thizzler's thing, right? That's that sound that they can have. Go ahead, go for it. What we're looking for is different other than that, right? So we like New York influence. That's what I grew up with, and that's basically what we were trying to bring back.
Yeah.
Because it's here. It's all over the place, from the Bay Area, Sacramento, the Valley. Like, there's tons of artists that are doing something different than that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to highlight that.
I want to highlight that.
At its core.
The cypher at its core, where it's just like, boom bap, just...
Who's got the best verse?
Yeah, we want to showcase MCs that have, like, crazy metaphors and different styles and stuff, for sure, but definitely just different than the Thizzler style.
Got you. So as we were talking off camera, shout out to you. You've had your platform for 15, 16 months, and you're already at like 16, 17,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
So shout out to you, man. That's
Thank
fucking
you.
awesome.
I appreciate it.
To piggyback on that, how do you define like your main points of success to how you've gotten to that point so far?
We wouldn't have any success at all without the artists, right? So I can't take the credit, really. I really can't, because I've been given a tremendous opportunity to showcase 4 new artists every episode, right? So, like, our success is directly tied to everybody involved. So I have to shout out everyone that's been a part of it, because we wouldn't be Look Cypher without the MCs and the producers that have been putting in their hard efforts and work towards their craft. So hopefully I answered that question.
I know you definitely did. It's like you said, it's first and foremost about the artists.
Yeah.
So it's and the people that help you do the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
The camera work, audio editing, all that stuff? I mean, unless you do the editing.
So yeah, no, it's a team effort for sure. You know, there's 5 of us on the team, and you know, I've been blessed and fortunate because right now, like, we've been calling it a passion project for like the first year, right? We're all putting in our own money or our time and effort, and you know, without having, like, we want to monetize and get sponsorships and stuff like that. Hella Good sponsored us early, so I made sure to wear this shirt. So shout out to Ryan.
There you go.
You know, so
Hell
like,
yeah.
we don't want to charge artists to be on the platform. We want to be able to give this opportunity to artists that have already been putting in their own time and effort, right? So we want to monetize on the back end, right? Like on YouTube or Instagram, and make sure the money's coming in from there and sponsorship. So giving the platform up is an honor, really is. You know, it's not about me. Shit, like in season 1, I was like in every episode, like, hey, you know, this is Look Cypher, you know, trying to pave the way for what it's going to look like. But towards the end, I stopped going on camera. I was off the scene, so now it's just, or off the video, and now it's just artists doing it 100%. So I can be in the background and push it. Yep.
Everyone else.
So
yeah. Now that you brought that up, that's actually one of my questions too. So that transition you had to make in the beginning to be, because you already had mentioned it on other interviews, that you were always more the introverted behind the camera type guy.
I'd rather be. Yeah.
So that you had, what was it that made you finally realize that, hey, I got to be more out, I got to be more in front of the camera? Obviously now, like you said, you reverted back to being behind the camera, but that process and realizing that was something you had to do, what kind of like led you to thinking that?
Yeah, it was directly tied into the Diddy allegations. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, no, this is crazy.
Yeah, so you know,
they
like
want a producer that's all in the videos.
Yeah, so you know, talking to Anton last year, I would say one thing and then do the other, but not on purpose. I wasn't realizing I was doing it. I was like, I ain't trying to be in all in the videos. Like, I literally said that, and then Anton, you know, was like, but you are in all the videos, right? So that's our relationship. We could talk to each other like that, where it's like, oh fuck, you're right. All right. And then I was from that point on, I just was like, okay, the first MC that would start the Cypher off, I was like, if you do me a solid, you know, just shout out the producer or shout out, you know, Look Cypher. And then that's the new format since, I forget what episode, like 7 or 8 from last year. Yeah.
Say less. Now, speaking about Anton, that's literally my next question.
Yeah.
So can you speak about you and him, your guys' like friendship / business partnership, and like how'd you guys, like, you know what I mean, meet each other and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so we used to work together at my current employer. He's moved on. He graduated college last year, and then he's got his, like, you know, career job at this point. So like, he's taken a step back from production and stuff with us, but he's still, like, we'll text and we'll talk about like ideas, and he's still involved behind the scenes, if that makes sense. But I mean, it all just started with, like, I was producing beats for him, and without Anton, I wouldn't even gotten to video production, because my first music video ever, I edited, shot, filmed, all that stuff, was because Anton was like, yeah, I'm down, I'll help you out and figure it out. So that was like, I think
was
that was the
for
genesis.
the Desert Storm track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fibonacci Sequence and Desert Storm, he wanted to, like, release that together.
He was talking crazy.
Yeah, he was.
He was talking crazy on it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
When y'all was talking about that song on the Zoocast, shout out to Grody, shout out to Zoocast, I looked up that song and I was like, oh, this is different than what I was expecting.
Talking conscious.
Yeah, getting in there.
While also selling drugs.
Okay, so to talk a little bit more about Look Cypher, the brand.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility of expanding it in terms of outside of Sacramento?
100%. Yeah. So in between season 1 and season 2, we bought our own equipment. We got all our own cameras, you name it, right? And then the first idea was to shoot out to a different city, bring our setup with us, rent a studio space, and then involve artists from that area. So we have a full playlist on YouTube now. It's Look Modesto. So,
okay.
Right. So like. My other business partner, Jadikaz, right? I met him in 2002 in Modesto, so I spent some time there with my family. You know, that's where I met Jadakaz at. And so we still have ties to Modesto and the Central Valley for sure. So we went there first. So as far as expanding Look Cypher, Sacramento's our hub. That's where we have the studio spaces here, and we bring everyone this way. Modesto was our first like trial of like, can we do this somewhere else? And it was super successful. We shot 3 episodes, featured 9 artists from that area, and each one did tremendous numbers. Yeah, so we want to take Look Cypher everywhere. Shoot, I'll just tell you, like this past Thursday, we just filmed with artists. Most of the artists were from the Bay Area, and after talking to them, and they want us, we want to, and it was just like it was kismet. So we're pretty much gonna throw a show in Oakland, and we're gonna feature artists from that area next.
That's
so,
fire.
Yeah, we're working on that now.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. So you're expanding to the Bay, you're expanding to the Valley,
yeah,
and then you already mentioned you're going to expand genres with R&B.
Yeah.
So is that something you guys are going to continue to try to experiment with as time goes on, just different genres, different locations?
That's right.
All that type of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I can talk about it now that it's fully recorded. So we. This is going to be a shameless plug because I'm honored. This is a big moment. Yeah. So this past Thursday, right? Not only did we have I featured Bay Area artists, but there's artists Los Racas, and they're like huge in like the Afro Latino, and like they do reggaeton, they do hip hop. They're fully immersed into that culture, but also like they brought their sound to Look Cypher. So we've now gone to the Afro Latino. Yeah, so we're definitely going to expand. We have already. We got those episodes in the books already in the bank. It's just a matter of just releasing and rolling out those episodes.
Hell yeah, man.
So
that's
already,
awesome.
Yeah,
That's exciting, man.
Out. Yeah,
happy for you. Man. That's dope.
Yeah.
I do have a question. You as a producer, you're still obviously like that's a passion, right? You're always going to produce. Okay, when working with different artists, does that maybe inspire you to kind of like? I wonder if Sav 10's got some like cumbia hip hop
just in the vault.
Yeah, absolutely. So you already know. I just told you guys like the first 5 episodes was like, all right, I want to do my sound and get these MCs on it. So when we reached out, we just straight up DM'd Los Racas through Instagram, and once somebody responds, we know we have a chance, right?
Right, exactly.
The fact that they saw the message in their DMs and it doesn't go to the general box; it goes somewhere else. So they were in there, and they responded like, "Yeah, we're down." And man, that was a crazy moment this year for me personally. It was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they even responded." So the fact that they responded and came out, it was like, "All right, cool. That's incredible, right?" Yeah. And so I said, hey, here's some opportunities so y'all can hop on a cypher with other artists that I can, arrange. And I started shooting them my instrumentals, right? So I did create new beats specifically for Los Racas with maybe their sound. And I brought in some like super familiar New York style hip hop samples, and I tried to blend them all together. They didn't use that track on there, but I still tried for sure. So
there's nothing wrong with shooting your shot.
Nah, I'm gonna shoot my shot for sure. Yeah. So if I got like a Sav 10 produced Los Racas record from this past Thursday, that would have been that probably would have like a career highlight for me. But at the end of the day, it's providing the platform, right? So they did a record off their new album. So that's coming out soon.
Hell yeah, man, that's fire. So can you kind of go through with us what a shooting day looks like when you guys are at the Look Cypher building shooting episodes?
Ooh, yeah. So we generally book the studio for 6 hours. So it's 2 hours of a setup and takedown, 4 hours of just recording as much content as possible. And we set up the studio first, and we try to have it ready to go before the artists even make it into the building, right? So behind the scenes, we're planning out the day, so it's Jadakaz and I like talking pretty much every single day through phone calls, text messages, talking about food that we're gonna bring because we provide food, we provide drinks.
I was that gets you going.
One thing that I do love about this, and I'm so sorry to cut you off, they absolutely champion the artist for sure. I came in there, I ain't never drank LaCroix like that, but he gave me one. They had LaCroix, they had snacks and shit like that. Joe, you would have
walked up and been like, my name's Chad now.
The snacks they had, bro, you wouldn't even have took them out the wrapper. That's how good. That's how much he championed the artist. Bro. So shout out to you, bro, because they really do take care of the people who come onto the platform.
Yeah. So,
as heavy as he's breathing now, I can only imagine the volumes he reached when he saw that you had snacks and food out for him.
That's crazy.
Tight.
Yeah. So, like, we want to be the premier platform for Sacramento. That's our goal. Now, that's no shade to anyone else because we need every single platform out here, right? And without CSSB, I wouldn't even have that, like, courage or even opportunity or the network, right? So every platform out here is crucial to promoting Sacramento, what we're doing. What we're all trying to achieve is just getting a highlight on the city, but also on the artist, right? Mm-hmm. So when I think of professional, like Hollywood level or even just professional videography work, I was on set. Another shameless plug. So I was lucky enough to be on set for an E40 music video, and that entire set was catered, right? So when I drawing from my past experiences, I was like, all right, well, there was food and drinks for everybody in attendance, and I was like, all right, well, we need to do that. So what do the professionals do? They do this. And if I want to be a professional and I want to make my mark and stand out over everybody else, is provide this experience of like, they're professionals, it's organized, they care for us, we provide, sustenance, and if you go to a function at a family's house, right, and it's like, let's say it's 4 hours long, usually if a function is 4 hours long, then you got to eat. There's got to be a meal provided somewhere, right? And I learned that from my wife. So if you're going to go to I think we all have kids, right? So if you go to a kids function, it's only an hour and change, right? So you'll probably have
2 hours at most.
Right. And that's probably for energy and kids getting tired and naps and shit. But there's probably a little bit of snack or cake or something. But if you go to a function that's long, then there's a meal provided because usually you eat a few meals per day, some more than others. No.
That's crazy. He just called out your diabetes.
No, he went straight at you.
Wow. Wow.
Ignorant shit. I told you I was going to bring the heat.
But he did. But damn, to bring up your stretch marks? Fuck, that's crazy.
Nothing about that. Yeah, he called your weight out. Shut up.
So like back to the question, like if we're going to be there 6 hours, then we need to have a meal rest period, right? Or something. So.
Treat it as an experience for the artist. Yeah,
exactly. So if we're setting a standard, the standard that we want to be, like we want to be the premier, the number one thing that comes up on all search results and all platforms. Of when someone puts in like a Google search, like hip hop Sacramento, we want to be look first, and then. That's just like our creative goals of hitting that target. But in order to achieve that, we're trying to break all the other norms, right? So for one, we can go to a function, we can go to an event, so how is that event catered? How is that, what's the ambiance? What's it look like? And then if an artist pulls up at 2:00 and they're not going to record for a few hours, then what are they going to do with that time? Mm-hmm. So we encourage them to shoot BTS. Record whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It's a content grab for everybody. This entire cipher was created to create content. So let's push it. So finding that studio, Legion Studios, it's in Sacramento. They have an entire office area that's air conditioned. So in the main cipher area and the interview area, it's a little warm. So if an artist isn't performing or interviewing, then they have an area to retreat to gather themselves, to get their mind right. Because when it's time, I'm like, all right, hey guys, 10 minutes, you're on. Then they have a space to go to. And so we've been thinking about every single aspect of the artists, before they get there. Is it easy to find the location? And at first it wasn't. So I took a Google Earth screenshot of exactly where to park, and park here, entrance is here. And without sending that photo, artists would be calling us through Instagram if they didn't have my cell phone number. And we're busy, we're recording, right? We're doing the thing, and I can't answer that call because we're literally taping, right? And so it's all right, well, now they're stuck. They're here. Maybe there's an imbalance. Maybe they're frustrated of fuck, where's the studio at? So we try to find every avenue of what can we improve on, what can we do better, and that's what an experience looks like. A day to day of being on set at Look Cypher is did they get the instrumental early enough? Do they have enough time to prepare? And we want to give them every opportunity to succeed. and I don't want us to be the reason why they didn't pull up or they called out or left because they couldn't find a building. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we think about every aspect.
That's professionalism right there. So to kind of shift from Look Cypher, you do beats challenges.
Yeah.
So your beats challenges. Who has been your toughest adversary when doing a versus beats challenge?
Honestly, there's been some challenges. It's not hard though. I've been making.
You hear that? Step y'all game up.
Yeah.
So
said you play keys like a bitch.
I've been making beats since 2002. Right.
Damn.
Right.
Okay,
So
for sure. That's when Ruben Studdard won American Idol. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. So I started like the beat challenge series, and that was before Look Cypher. I was trying
that was before that.
Yeah, I was really trying to find a way to create content to get my beats out there and start to figure out, like, do I need to be on camera? Yeah, I do. Early on to promote myself and to promote my Instagram account and the beats in general, right? So that's where I got more comfortable being on camera and learning how to edit. But once I had that idea to do the Cypher, then like I stopped the beat challenges and went like 100% into
Look Cypher.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't do the challenges anymore. I have had folks ask me to bring that back. I would have to have an entire team of editors to do Look Cypher for me to then go back and do my own shit.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
We don't have it there. We're not there yet. So once the
one day though,
once the sponsorships come in and we can start paying folks like for their time and editors and videographers, then I can just remain behind camera at Look Cypher and just be like a project manager, if that makes sense.
Yeah, be more of the head and just the behind the scenes.
You'd be the guy like on the job site that like sits in the truck.
Facts.
I do have a question though, so because I know that a lot of all of your content is like super high quality, right? What are you editing on? Like what software, and then what type of setup do you have?
Okay, great question. So you want to know like camera setups or?
No. So I mean, well, yeah, you can tell us so like.
I don't know want to go too deep into that.
Because I know it can get deep.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, what camera you have, but more along the lines of what software you use to edit, and then what computer system or setup do you have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you like build your own or something pre-made?
Yeah, no. So it's streamlined. I did invest for sure into a Mac Mini.
Okay.
All right, so like to have a crazy powerhouse with large amounts of RAM and large amounts of we have a 1 terabyte built into the Mac Mini. I put probably 500 gigs of video onto the Mac Mini, and then I started using like SSD cards, like y'all have them here, the same ones.
Yeah.
So I think I got that idea of just putting all the content on the SSD cards from CSSB.
Fire. Yeah, so did I. That's the reason why I got one.
Yeah, so that's where all the content like is held. So I used DaVinci Resolve. I used the free version for as long as I could, but once we started doing different things, we started trying out different studio spaces for doing interviews. You pulled up, right? We went to a random studio in like North Highlands area, I think it was. Once I had that content in hand, then it was more challenging to edit. So I ended up paying for the $300 version of DaVinci with 2 licenses. So that second license I gave to Anton to help edit. And then once Anton started his new gig, we transferred the license to Jadakaz. Mm-hmm. So now like it's split. So I do the performance videos and Jadakaz does all the interviews. So so we're both using DaVinci. We can share files and all that shit like that.
Okay, solid.
Yeah. But yeah, without going into the cameras and stuff, I won't go there. But it was crucial. I didn't want to have any hiccups with editing, like terabytes worth of videos. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, because then you have to optimize all the shit, and it's a long process. I get you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now to the producer side of you. So can you explain with us your creative process and like the craftsmanship you put into creating your beats, and then obviously afterwards having to sell them and promote them?
Yeah. Well, shoot. I've been like, we have a musical family, like from my father, my brother and sister. My sister was like, she's the eldest of the family. She was a recording artist first. Like she was doing country back in like the early 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Local and Bay Area stuff. And then my brother and I, we played instruments all through elementary through high school, right? And so that's kind of like where it started. And then, man, like my brother was my biggest influence for hip hop, like early on, like really early, listening to E40 at 9 years old, right? Like knowing all the lyrics. And so I don't want you to segue into that other question you asked me off camera. Oh, we won't go there.
Okay, yeah.
But
I know.
but so like, I love hip hop so much. When I hear any song, I feel like I can remix it immediately into some kind of hip hop version of it, or like pick a song. I'm looking for an opportunity to find the instrumentals where there is no vocals, and I'm like, oh, that would be sick. You know, like even there was a Christina Aguilera Christmas song that I was like, all right, well that would be an incredible, you know, chop for making beats. So I just hear them. I'll be at work. I'll open Shazam on my phone and I'll just Shazam a song, and like now I have this like, you know, plethora of songs that I can go choose from. I just get inspired by other artists. You know what I mean?
For like sampling purposes.
For sampling
too?
purposes,
Okay.
yeah. So then, you know, I love to sample. You know, that's one of my biggest influences is like New York style boom bap where they're sampling heavy. You know. And then just recreating something from something that they were inspired by. So I'm the same way.
What instrument did you play besides skin flute?
Side by side with skin flute was the alto saxophone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I started with that.
Fire. Yeah.
So as a
Need a lot of
producer,
saliva for both.
Oh shit!
disgusting. As a producer, is there current artists that you regularly collaborate and work with in terms of producing beats for them and all that?
Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Like, is there artists you're exclusively working with on like a regular basis to produce beats for them?
I'm trying not to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like
You want to keep it open?
I want to keep it open. You know, so there's it's an open invite for any producer that wants to send beat packs over to us, right? So we want to involve as many people as possible, right? And connect with new audiences, right? The only way to continue to grow is to collaborate. That's our main, like that's how we grow. That's all the growth has been because of collaborations. Yeah. So I mean, the producer from the Slow Burn crew, Donnie Blue.
Yep. Shout out, bro.
Yeah,
Shout out, bro.
he helped produce like 3 or 4 episodes already. You know, Bedroom Flips is another producer that has produced a bunch of records, and I think it's because, you know, I'm inspired by their production style for sure. But at the end of the day, we just need more beats. We need more producers. We need more folks to contribute. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's not really by design to continue to highlight specific artists. Like that isn't our goal. I'm down to it. Like, down to do it, obviously. But yeah, we want to feature more folks.
Okay. Well, I mean, the question was kind of more like based on like, is there any artists you're currently working with to produce beats for? I mean, obviously, I'd imagine Antoine is probably someone you're making beats. No, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
You're totally fine. I probably just didn't word it correctly. So, I mean, I'd
Sure,
imagine.
ESL.
Huh? Bitch, fuck you. So, I mean, I imagine Antoine is probably one of them, right? I mean, is there any other artists that you regularly like make beats for?
No.
No.
I know there's artists that are waiting for Sav 10 beats for sure, but I'm slacking because 99% of my efforts are all towards editing for the Cypher videos. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a lot of production time or like downtime for me to just cook up. Mm-hmm. So no one in mind. But honestly, like everybody that's come onto the platform, and they're learning, they'll ask about me, and I'm like, well, shoot, I'm a producer first. I'm like, oh, you got beats, and like they want to work with me because of that. So my goal of creating the Cypher to get my beats out is like it's completely changed. I can't even get the artists beats that I want to, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're just so busy.
What are you making beats on?
So I use Studio One now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and that's because Jadek has and I. So we both make beats together. We use the same platforms together. That way we can continue just to send files easily back and forth because he'll help edit and you know, filter down and mix these records with me. So, you know, it's easier to use the same platforms, right? Have the same tools, same VST plugins and all kinds of stuff for us to just easily like go back and forth.
Okay. So,
But I used Reason for 20 years before I moved over to Studio One. It was a hard transition. It was very tough.
Some for 20 years, the same software for that long.
Yeah. Now, I dabbled with like FL for sure. Because there was a point where Reason just didn't even allow VSTs. It was a crazy time where you had to just leave Reason if you wanted to use any kind of plugins. Some of the dopest synthesizers that are out there, like you couldn't even plug into your main DAW, right? So I dabbled with FL for a long time, and then I downloaded Logic because I took a course at a community college in the Bay Area, and so I got Logic, and I was learning that one too.
You ever try Ableton?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah. And I always thought Ableton was created to do live performances. Obviously it's an incredible DAW, but I just thought like the main goal was to then use it to perform live, and I wasn't doing that back then.
With the kind of work ethic you got going on right now with the editing and the Look Cypher, and obviously the stuff you're trying to do for yourself and your personal life, like how do you find that work-life balance? Obviously with obviously because you're also a dad, so you mentioned that a little bit. Just finding that balance with, obviously you got to get all this stuff done. You got to, put the money into what you're doing as well.
Yes, sir.
And plus, obviously, you got family and babies to take care of at home.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing without the support of my wife, Kim. So shout out to, I talk about her all the time, to other people, right? So when I tell her to her face that, hey, I was just telling so-and-so, and that now I'm telling y'all, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing without the support of Kim, for real. So with that being said, like, I do have to plan everything out far in advance. So we share a Google Calendar where if I have like this podcast, for example, we booked this 3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago.
So I put that immediately in the Google Calendar, and then we have a conversation like, all right, well, Saturdays I usually work. On this Saturday, I'm just going to take the day off. I'm going to do the pod, and then we're going to go do a family day after this, right? So 3 months ago, I planned this day out, right? So it takes a tremendous amount of planning. And so with that being said, in order to like stay on pace with the releasing of the ciphers come out every 3 weeks. So that gives us a 3-week window to edit the ciphers, the 3 interviews that are involved, a little bit of promo in between, and then make sure that like these episodes land on time.
Yeah, your time management must be fucking.
I was about to say, using the calendar especially.
For sure, yeah.
You got shit.
Have you started timing your shits? That's tough.
No, that's my time.
Okay, there you go.
Don't bother me.
Fabs. Hell yeah, Porcelain King.
I mean, I just saw on your page too that you have a son that just started college, right?
Yeah, so he's a senior now.
Oh, senior in college. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
so that makes him what, 21,
yes,
22
sir.
years old?
Yeah, he'll be 21 in like a week.
How does that make you feel? You got a senior in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's old. I'm not. So
Saying facts, hell yeah.
well, shoot, we got 1 in college and 1 in diapers and 2 in between.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. 4 altogether. There you go.
The earlier you asked me how many times have I been married, bro? So it's like so in my first marriage, which makes me feel hella old, so I hate you for that. Or maybe I hate myself and I'm blaming you. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
He projects all the time. You're good.
So my eldest kids, my son and daughter, that was from my first marriage, right?
Okay.
And so when I met my wife Kim in 2012. I was like, I ain't never getting married and I ain't having any more kids. I got a boy and a girl. I'm good. And if you're down, you're fucking with that and fucking with us, then I'll let you meet them. Right? That's how it was. I was like, And then she was like, oh, okay. She kind of let me say my shit at first. And then, eventually she was like, I think this is going to work out. And I want kids of my own. She goes, I don't mind raising your kids. Now they're her kids. And she was like, we got to have kids. My parents don't have any grandkids. Like, this is going to be something that's, kind of a make or break deal. And early on in a relationship, we were completely open about what we wanted, right? So compromise, obviously. Now we have 2 more. So that's why we have 2 younger kids, a 4-year-old and a 7-month-old.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a busy house then, right?
Yeah, it takes a tremendous amount of planning.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd also seen that your oldest son that we're just talking about, he also worked with you behind the scenes on Look Cypher, right? How did that feel for you as a dad to be like, now I got my son working with me, doing what I love to do, and now he gets to join in on it.
Yeah, so I kind of strong armed him too because I was like, if you try it, like, because you know he's a college student, right? So he doesn't have a full-time job. He does get paid like through the Army because he's a cadet.
Okay.
Right. So he's a civilian now, and then once he graduates, he'll go into the Army as an officer.
Oh, I
right?
see. Okay, yeah.
But so he does get like a stipend and stuff like that for school and from the Army. But ultimately, like, he doesn't have money. So I was like, if you're trying to go back to school this year, I need you to help me over here at Look Cypher. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. But it was great.
Yeah, we know you're not. It's okay, though.
No,
it's okay.
So, you know.
You're teaching work ethic. That's what matters.
Yeah, so he is. When he's home during the summer, he's not really doing much outside of costing us more money, and, you know. But we also really needed help that day, so I wouldn't have asked him because he doesn't have a passion for music, but he knows I do. And I said, hey son, can you help me on this day? And he was like, yeah, of course. So we taught him how to hit the record button on the camera and on the audio recording device, and he just helped manage that side. He helped manage all the interviews that day for sure. It was tight. I think as a parent, like, we want our kids to kind of be doing the same things we do or enjoy the same sports. But my son has been his own man his whole life. Like, I love baseball and he's raw at baseball, but he didn't want to be a baseball player. He thought it was boring. So he wanted to do like martial arts and taekwondo and all that, and he excelled. Once I put, once my my wants for his life got to the point to where it was like, all right, he don't want baseball. I did, so I said, all right, well, you know what I mean. Like, I didn't want to be that parent of like, no, you got to do this. So we supported him in his passions, and like, fuck, man, did he excel? He's a beast. He's a beast in martial arts. So I wanted him. So I said that I wanted him to be involved in music too. So he took the saxophone. He learned that in high school, but as a sophomore, he pretty much dropped music altogether. So I know that's not his passion. So I try not to force him to do that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to kind of touch on what you were just saying too, like about dads in general, about wanting to, like you said, just push on what we like onto them. Can you kind of speak more into that? Because I don't think that really gets talked about as like parents in general, not even just dads, but parents in general, with what we want for our kids versus what they want for themselves. Yeah. Especially once they reach that like preteen, teenager stage and all that.
Yeah. So,
and the reason why I'm asking is because obviously we have kids, but our kids aren't that age yet, so we haven't really experienced that yet.
I tell you, it's hard as fuck to parent an adult, right? Like, my son's an adult. It's hard to get him to listen, you know?
Shit, my mom feels the same way about me.
So like, we all have our life experiences, and I think it's like, for my wife and I'll just talk about our experiences. We want them to kind of get a step ahead, right? It's like, don't do what we did, do this, right? This is going to be faster. And sometimes, especially for my son, shout out to Tyler. I love you, son, but he learns the hard way. You know what I mean? He's a hard head.
As guys normally do, we prefer to learn the hard way.
So it was a combination of like, he really wanted one thing, we wanted something else, and it was like the path of least resistance was to be a good parent. It just like, all right, well, let's help him do his thing. So it was trial by error with our son. Sorry, Ty, that's why he's all fucked up. I'm kidding. He's strong. He's driven. He gets straight A's. You know what I mean? It's crazy. He's a beast in everything that he does. He's like super driven, but. To speak about that, right? The main goal that we have for the kids is to make sure that they themselves are independent, good human beings. Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
So from there, what can you do, right? So like, if there's after school programs that are free. Well, we're a public school family, so like, what can you do to help them in areas that they can excel in? So if they're struggling in math, is there a free math tutors? Is like Khan Academy? So we kind of go that route. Having an extracurricular activity is a mandatory thing in our house. So if they're athletic, then it's probably going to be a sport. Our 4-year-old, she's oh man, I could talk about her all day. We think she can be like the next Disney star, right? For acting and stuff like that. So her thing might not be sports, right? We might have to tap into the art side of her, And so, we just see like if we have a charismatic child, then it's like, maybe we tap into that and see if she's interested. And so we'll have some wants, kind of guide them in a direction, and if it sticks, it sticks. So our 15-year-old daughter, she's reserved. She's we just talked about this just yesterday. She's going to be the leader of the family, not my son. Chloe, she's driven, she's strong, she don't take no shit, right? And she's the reserved one. So we put her in Taekwondo because she didn't have any extracurriculars.
Oh, so you found one for her. Basically.
We found one for her, right? So because that's our family goal, is you got to be active, you got to stay healthy. We promote a healthy lifestyle. So she hated Taekwondo. She still hates it. Well, she doesn't hate it anymore. I take that back. When we moved from the Bay Area to here, we ended up finding a new Taekwondo studio that her brother wasn't a part of, right? Because she was always in his shadow because he's a beast. Okay. Now that she's in her own school and her own team and her own family there,
there's a lot more enjoyment for her.
Oh man, now it's hers, right? Yeah. So, with her, we early on, not anymore. Early on, when we saw an interest in her, we would like double down on it, right? So if she's really good at drawing and art, then we're like, here's this complete set of like shading pencils and like coloring books, and then blank sheets of paper for her to draw on. Now she knows we know, and so she'll back off of that. Yeah. So I was like, oh fuck. So it took a few investments in that for her for us to realize that if it doesn't spawn from her own mind, then she's not going to be as passionate about it. And recently she found like crew, like rowing, and like that's her thing. And
where it's like 6 people in a boat and they all row at the same time. Okay.
The boats always look like dragons and shit.
That's hella funny because they're half Asian.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Yeah. Shout out Mulan.
Crazy. So she was invited to do like a week-long event, at the Sacramento State Aquatic Center off of Hazel. So that's her thing. She's starting that as a sophomore in high school, and we know she's going to be a beast because the coaches have told her so to her face.
Oh, there you go.
So without we're no longer influencing that, right? That kind of thing for her. It's hers now, and now we just support that. Yeah. So I think hopefully that answers the question. I know it's like a 10-minute long.
I love the answer you gave. Basically, what you're saying is that even though in the beginning part of the earlier stages of their life, you're going to point them in a direction that you think is best. Yeah. But then as they develop their own personalities, their own flavor of life, then once you find out what that is, you want to just uplift that and support that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's an amazing job. Honestly, pat yourself on the back for that.
Hey, absolutely.
Dad of the year.
Shout out to your wife as well, because I know it's a team effort with the both 100%.
of you. For sure.
So plus
Pivotal
now,
point.
So who's going to take kids to this event, that event, practice, and all that stuff? Meals in between. Student athletes, like they need to eat more food, and so it's like, okay, well that's where I help at, because my main gig for earning income is I work at a grocery store, right? And so with that being said, like I'll go get all the food, I'll buy all the foods, and then start preparing meals that are high calories but healthy, right? So now that like first week of September is when we will now need to provide more meals for Chloe. So she'll eat food at home, she'll eat at school, then she'll have a meal in between practice, and then she might even have like double days because she's almost to her black belt at Taekwondo. So we have to, like, this next 6 months is going to be really challenging for her. So we just need to know where to support her at. So giving her rest, time to study, time to recover, shit like that. So
he's like, I've stolen $50,000 worth of vegetables.
Does she use you as her dummy often?
Not so much. No.
You're like, Dad, come here, let me try out this move.
Nut punch.
Yeah.
I learned this new chokehold.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up going to like flea markets and using Facebook Marketplace to purchase gear and stuff. So yes.
I thought you were gonna say for fights.
Starting a fight club.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she fought Money Man in those backyard brawls.
Bro, I'm just fucking with you. Hey, shout out Money Man, the dick, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. But to tie into that, it's just like. Yeah, so we do have the gear, but she's not like sparring oriented, but she can. So her last tournament where she sparred was a couple months ago. She fought a 32-year-old Taekwondo sparring person, right? And she won. So like she can hold her own. Yeah. So in a way, like giving her self-defense lessons through Taekwondo, it's a blessing too, right? Because now we know she can hold her own. Literally, she can hold her own in any fight at school. So she's dealt with some issues with potential bullying and stuff like that. And my first response is, why don't you just kick her in the throat?
Absolutely.
Thanks, yeah.
That's every dad's first reaction.
Yeah,
just beat her ass.
You have all the tools, right? But she's reserved, right? And so she doesn't need to, right? So she'll use her mind, she'll communicate, and we just give her the tools, right? So at this point, it's for parents out there, like, give the kids the tools, teach them the right way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you do need to egg them on a little bit of, like, protect yourself. Just punch her in the face, and nobody will fuck with you at school. You be that. You be the one. Yeah. But I'm half joking when I tell her that, but at the same time I remind her, like, hey, you really can,
Yeah.
And I'm not promoting violence in school and stuff, but at that point, when
gotta defend yourself.
Defense, for sure. It's defense. Yeah. Taekwondo teaches not to use it for
Yeah, shout out to her for having that discipline. You know what I mean? Yeah, mm-hmm. that's tough. You know what I mean? There's a lot of when you can fuck someone up and then you don't. There's a lot of power in that too.
Exactly.
For sure.
Well said. Well said.
So now we're getting at the part where it's towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
One last thing we kind of ask all guests is, and I know for some people it's redundant, but top fives. So if you want to do top 5 producers, top 5 rappers, it's up to you how you want to do that. If you want to mix both of them in the top 5, it's completely up to you. But you have the floor for top 5, and then if there's any like other live shows, because you said you guys just did the R&B event. So if there's any other events too, you have time to promote that. Just cool. The rest of the episode's on you now.
I definitely need to do that because we plan to record some promo for us on Thursday, and
absolutely.
we didn't do it.
He'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so top 5. I'll do producers because it's safer. Yeah. Unless you guys are looking for viral clips.
No, you're good.
Production wise, my biggest influences were Neptune, so Pharrell and Chad, right? Neptunes, Timberland. I gotta say, Kanye West is one of the biggest influences on me for sure. Because when he was popping, I was 18 years old, and that's when I started making beats full time.
His sample game's crazy too.
Yeah, so it's always artists that are creative and that sample. So I think that's 3. Jay Dilla for sure, and the RZA.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nobody too. His movies with Ben Odenkirk. That's out this weekend. So yeah, check it out.
I'm unfamiliar. You just put me on.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you see the first one?
No.
Oh, it's like old man John Wick.
Okay.
Like I'm 50. I'm retired, but I kick ass. You know what I mean? So if you like that type of stuff, I'll check it out.
If you wait a few months, you can honestly just watch the recap on YouTube.
Your whole system. No, we're talking about the first one. The one that just came out this weekend is a sequel. So the sequel's out now. But I was talking to him about the first one.
You probably watch a recap on the first one too.
He's disgusting with their fucking recaps.
Yeah. But, and then so for shows, this is going to be a plug for Flip a Beat Club, and they host an event Wednesday nights at Shady Lady, right? So Flip's been there. Man, if you have not been to Shady Lady, it's a dope venue in general. On Wednesday nights, it's from 8 to 10. It's an open aux. So it's open mic, open aux. So producers get an opportunity, and so do MCs. From 10 to 11, they have a featured act. Right, so on October 22nd, Sav 10, myself, right, me, and Jadakaz, that's our featured producer night. And then Jadakaz will open the set, and then basically the last half hour of the night, I'm going to be bringing my beats, but also MCs that have worked with me in the past to showcase that night. So it's going to be a showcase for sure. Kuya Flip. I'm going to ask you on air, so you can't say no.
You can't say no now.
Yeah, so if you and Jew would bless the mic to do the record that I produced for you guys, that would be incredible.
Oh, that night? October 22nd? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I just got to let both my baby moms know, but we're good.
Yeah.
I'm playing. There. Yeah. I was literally in my head thinking, too, I was like, all right, I got to tell Siri to remind me the 20th. That I'm going to Shady Lady the 22nd, and then that way I can build it into my schedule. I'm literally thinking that in my head, but yeah, it's good. I'll talk to you about it. Yeah, we in there.
Yeah, for sure. So the second half of promo for this event. Folks have been asking how to get on Look Cypher. is there more auditions coming? Because we held 2 auditions here at CSSB. And there's a tremendous amount of folks that need to be on the Cypher, and we no longer need to do auditions. However, we want to streamline this night. So from 8 to 10 on October 22nd, we want producers to show up, and we want MCs that want to be on Look Cypher to show up. So it's an open mic audition October 22nd at Shady Lady. If you want to be on Look Cypher, pull up October 22nd, 8 p.m.
Absolutely. Forgive me, everyone, but I do not have the calendar. I got a new phone. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got a new phone. So I don't have the calendar for our next episode. I know it's on the 30th, August 30th. So episode 28, episode 29, August 30th, ISO podcast. Please check this out. Let's clap it up for our boy Sap 10 right here.
I got one more thing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I hate to do this to you.
Go ahead.
I just saw this down here. I brought y'all. Oh, my bad. So maybe y'all can close it out one more time. But I brought y'all a gift. I want you to see.
Shit.
Appreciate that.
I brought the most ignorant bag I could.
Oh, let's see what's in
there.
there.
Go ahead, read the.
Adobe Creek Funeral Home is crazy. Show the camera this way, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, we got a funeral home bag? That's hilarious.
I tried to bring the most ignorant bag I could.
No, we love it though. Appreciate it.
But inside is a gift. It's these went viral. They're still viral right now. So I know y'all like to y'all like your food, so it's a lunch bag.
He just called us fat.
He just called us fat. It's crazy.
So it's an ignorant gift. However, there's a lot of interest in these guys. They're insulated lunch bags. They're super rare to get. But they're a gift for you guys. Y'all can choose whatever colors you want. So they're
that's perfect.
Thank
you, bro. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. This is dope as fuck.
These bags went viral.
Oh shit. Oh my God! See, the thing is,
Trader Joe bags.
He's got this ice mold that's a dildo.
Shut the fuck
and so
up,
now
bitch.
he can finally keep it.
Should we call Daquan?
He's got the anal plugs too that are
You're
icicles.
hella disgusting.
Bro, these are fire.
Yeah. I love this shit. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
Absolutely,
that.
yeah. So give y'all a gift. Thanks for bringing me on
Bro, thank
Of course.
My bad. I think I messed this up, but yeah, it's a gift from our household. Oh yeah, I did tear it up. My bad.
You good.
Yeah, so it's a gift from us, my wife and I, to y'all. Thanks for having us on, or having Look Cypher on, having me on, and thank you for sure. Appreciate it. Do what you want with them. If you can re-gift them if you want, if you don't find a need for them.
Definitely.
I'll probably take home the placenta in this.
You're hella disgusting.
So we gonna
Yeah.
So let's finish this out. We're clapping it up for our boy right here, man. Appreciate you, brother, man, for your time.
Hell yeah,
this is a great episode. I really enjoyed this one. This was really fun.
I thought we'd get more ignorant, not gonna lie.
Oh no! Well, I mean,
we for sure can.
We definitely can. But yeah, August 30th. Shout out to Cootie Flip for showing me on his phone. But yeah, August 30th we have Marquez Photography. So shout out to you, brother. We're gonna see you on August 30th. That'll be episode 29. So tune in to August 29th. Have a great Saturday. Peace.